Hey you guys, it's Damien. So I have quite the story time today, and it's just a lot to get into. So instead of doing like kind of like a random just sit down talk like a regular sit down talk video that's like unplanned, this I had to type everything that was on my mind because it was so much and so much personal information and privacy that I kind of want to keep intact with everyone involved. I had to just type it out, like take a good hour or two to type out everything that I need to say and just read off of it as I go. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, a HR YouTuber named Jane had let me down. We were having a good conversation about human resources in some of her non HR videos and talked for a week. I shared with her some life stories about things I went through at my jobs. I've never messaged her before on Instagram. I never messaged her on Instagram before. My first message to her was telling her that I loved her channel. So she had said, "Thank you so much. I appreciate it." I have asked her if she knew about other HR YouTubers, and she knew one. It was four of them. This is in parentheses. It was four of them, but she knew that she knew one that she saw. Why is this not scrolling down properly? I happened to ask her about laws I need to know. I'm trying to keep it like this so that way we can see. I happened to ask her about laws I need to know. She sent me a link to a video she made about common laws I need to know. I told her to check out Mary's new videos about experiences working in HR and how they were bad. She was happy to see them, and she said she stopped getting alerts on her channel. Jane stopped getting alerts on Mary's channel. Let me look. I'm sorry, it's like really hard to kind of like read and keep the privacy. Jane stopped getting alerts on Mary's channel, but she said it could be due to because she turned them off due to to avoid the comparison thing because she found her channel before having a certain number of subscribers. Got it. Jane told me she hopes that Mary has Instagram or LinkedIn as far as promoting her channel, Mary's channel, because she could maybe give her advice on how to grow her channel in a kind way, of course, not anything malicious. I remember she had her email listed somewhere. Mary's email, I'm talking about, publicly for all to see. I showed her that, and Jane told me it may be more impactful if you screenshot my message and email it to her. I want you guys to remember that for later on. Jane said she doesn't want her to feel negative about Jane herself reaching out to her with immediate constructive feedback, and that she doesn't know if she is really taking YouTube serious, so she might not care that with X amount of subs that YouTube might be a hobby for her. And that's not, and again, that message is not meant that she sent was not meant with like any malice. She's just saying that she just wants to reach out to her if she wants to give her advice, which is fine, nothing wrong with that. And seeing she said herself that she wanted me to contact her, I told Jane, "That's a good idea. I'll do that. Or I think I meant to say I'll do this instead. I'll explain the situation to AI and have them create email for me, and then I'll send it to her there, and she can get in touch with you again, and you can help each other grow her channel with smiley face, and that was all I said. And then she jokingly told me, y'all with this damn AI with the laughing emoji. And then I had told her it's powerful with the laughing emoji. And after that, I had told Jane about her non HR videos, or actually her non HR video, and how resilient she was. And she said that wasn't me. That was totally the Lord, because I never talk about it publicly. I thought it was okay, so I wanted to help my community because I had clients and mentees who looked down on it, and now it's taken a life of its own. And I thought that was messed up, and I told Jane, well, I want you to know that I'm not embarrassed by it. No, I'm not at all embarrassed by it. Life happens, and a lot of people go through stuff similarly and don't talk about it. They have no right to judge you for what happened to you. It was not your fault. It was his. And I was right about that, because it's not her fault. You're going through something with somebody that was personal, that you talked about, and he caused you a lot of stress. That was his fault, and nobody should be making you feel bad over that. And that was my philosophy and how I looked at that. And eventually, at some point, I asked her, out of curiosity, hey Jane, I just got home from work. Just wondering, say one of your subscribers is interested in working in HR and need a job, and the job is remote, and they have experience. Would you hire one of your subscribers? And in the middle of that, well, this wasn't texted, but I was making a note for myself. I wouldn't mind working with her, but I kind of was just asking, it was more like a scenario kind of thing, and not something I'd actually would carry out. Um, because to be honest, I don't even think we're even close to each other in terms of like area. Even if we were, I mean, it's kind of a different scope when you're like a YouTuber and I'm like a subscriber, so like I'm interested in HR, so it's like, you know, it makes sense, but it's also kind of like, I just don't want anyone to get the wrong idea. And again, as I say, it's more like a scenario thing, and it's kind of something I do with like a lot of people. I don't necessarily, like I'll ask certain things that are probably unusual, but it's not because I want to do that. I'm just a very curious person. I like to know a lot of things, so sometimes I'll ask stuff like that. But that's not a big deal to me. That's whatever. She hadn't responded to it, but because there was like other messages after it about like the email. But I'm gonna get to that. Um, but yeah, I got home and I generated my email from AI and said to Mary, and this is the email that I had sent. And this included the 3 screenshots of the messages that we had that were on specific things that Jane was saying. Because all of it was stuff that really Jane was saying. It wasn't stuff that like I was adding to it or saying. Like these were her messages, and this was stuff that she wanted me to screenshot. So the email I sent to Mary, it says, "Dear Mary, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Cottrell, also known as Damien the Max on YouTube, and I'm writing." Let me go back because this computer scrolled up. "Dear Mary, I hope this email finds you well. My name is Cottrell, also known as Damien DeMax on YouTube. I'm writing to inform you about an exciting opportunity that has come my way. It may be of interest to you. Recently, I had the pleasure of connecting with Jane, the founder of said YouTube channel, an influential platform dedicated to helping individuals build successful YouTube channels while also providing insights into the field of HR sector. Jane has expressed interest in collaborating with you and sharing techniques and strategies to enhance your YouTube channel and further your career in HR. To ensure there is no confusion, I have attached 3 screenshots of my conversations with Jane where she highlights her interest in working with you. The screenshots will provide you with concrete evidence and context regarding this collaboration opportunity. Jane's expertise and guidance can undoubtedly take your YouTube channel and professional aspirations to new heights. Please let me know your thoughts whether you would like to pursue this opportunity. I'm confident that working with Jane and joining her community will bring immense value to your journey as a content creator to the HR space. Looking forward to hearing from you soon. Warm regards, Cottrell Damien DeMax. And mind you, that was the email that was created by AI, and that was not done with any bad intent whatsoever. And it wasn't anything like completely weird or anything. Like, it was in line with what she had said. It might not have been like a collaboration exactly, but it was in line with what she said. But Mary emails me back and says, "Hello, Cottrell. I hope all is well. Thank you for your email. I've taken the time to myself last year into this year to get a grip on my personal life. At this time, I am not interested in collaborations as I don't have the bandwidth as the year is closing out. I also do not share my LinkedIn account as I've separated my real name to a personal alias to avoid anyone finding my personal work information for safety. I am open to collaboration in the upcoming 2024 year. I'd reach out to Jane directly to see if there's any interest from her at a future point in time. Thank you for your email, and I hope you have a wonderful evening." And that was all she said. And I think that was very understandable. You know, what she had said, she basically said she was kind of busy. And for me, I'm like, I can respect that. I'm like, I can respect her being busy. That's fine. I wasn't really sure what all the rest from Jane was about, but we're going to get to that. And mind you, this was what Jane wanted. She wanted me to email her and show her the screenshots. And now the email, I could see her being upset about the email if it was just the email and the screenshots weren't added. But the screenshots were added with the email, so like, I wasn't really sure. And mind you, again, this is all what she wanted, so I'm not really sure why, she overreacted like she did. But again, we're going to get to that. So, as a result, I showed Jane the emails exactly as they were, and she went from an expression of gratitude to fuming. She says to me, "Thanks. What message did you send her? What collaboration?" And I then texted her and said, "I'll show you." And then I said, after I showed her the email of everything that I said, which is everything I just said, minus, the change of names for confidentiality, I told her I'll show you, and then I had said, to be fair, the email, mind you, this is after I showed her everything that I had said, and everything connected with each other, so it's not like it was something weird. And then I then had said, to be fair, the email was AI generated with the laughing emoji, because, I didn't really know what to really say. It was AI generated. AI generated the email, and it wasn't like I'm some bot or something. It was so weird. And the reason, and I wanted to get into the reason I made the reason I asked AI to create the email was because I kind of didn't want to trip over my words or anything, and I didn't want anyone to get the wrong idea. And I get anxiety about certain tasks, so I just had the AI do it. None of it was ill intended, and I want you guys to keep that in mind. Exactly what I said earlier. And then she texts me, and she says, "Not cool at all. You're twisting my words. I never said anything about a collab. FYI, that's why I don't do AI emails, because that entire email looks like spam emails I get every day. I hope this does not come off as mean, but please do me a favor and stop messaging me." And as I mentioned, reading that email sent me into panic mode. I told her, "I'm sorry, I apologize." She put the chat in vanish mode And then text, "This is weird AF. I never offered to help her with her channel either. I don't have time for that, and that's not what I do." You kind of implied that, though, because you said you wanted to speak to her directly and help her grow her channel, so, like, I'm not really sure, like, what you're talking about. It's just so weird. I don't even know what she's talking about there, because she kind of did say that from what I've read. Maybe she meant it a different way, a little bit, I don't know, but it's not, again, we're not completely out of the realm here, like, these are kind of your words, and you asked me to do this for you, so I don't understand why you're acting like I just did it on my own and I completely twisted your words. Like, no, I sent her the screenshots. Now, the only thing she probably is right about is, like, the collab thing, but again, that's for you as an adult, as, you know, an HR person who's supposed to be understanding, problem solver. You're supposed to listen to people and you're supposed to be a certain way. And this is not, I'm shocked for someone in HR, this is how she carries herself. But she put in she put in the chat, "This is weird AF. I never offered to help her with her channel either. I don't have time for that. That's not what I do. I should have stopped messaging you a long time ago. This is weird." And I just was so shocked. I've never had anything like this happen to me ever. As far as, well, I mean, I've had miscommunications before happen in the past, but not like this to this level. Like, this is completely one-sided, to be honest with you. Overall, this is very one-sided, but yeah, I have a section where I say where I went wrong, and as I mentioned before, well, I'm going to get into that in here. Where I went wrong, there's not really anything I did wrong. Only thing I probably did that was wrong maybe was the email. I should have kept it simple and just screenshot the messages and did a one-sentence email. But, however, I want to remind you all that she told me to email her. I didn't do it on my own accord. This was Jane's idea. This was her idea. So I want you to keep that in mind. And where Jane went wrong, completely overreacted. I'm actually shocked that for an HR professional, and I've said this seconds ago, I am actually shocked that for an HR professional, she really went off of her emotions with this one. I understand being annoyed, but she could have had a conversation with me about it. No one is trying to twist your words. Mind you, this was her idea, and honestly, she could have emailed her herself if it was that serious. To come at me like this when I have been very supportive and I've kept all our conversations about Jane's content with HR and her non-HR experiences that she posted was just absolutely unacceptable. We are all passionate about HR. This was supposed to be a fun thing for all of us, and it got ruined over one mistake that could have easily been communicated about. This is why they tell you don't meet your idols, because they will let you down, and stuff like that. And I'm extremely disappointed, and it goes to show you why I never message people, because things get taken out of context very easily. This legitimately ruined my morning, and it did. I couldn't sleep for 2 hours. I remember seeing these messages, and my heart was going back and forth. And I was second-guessing myself, because I'm like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, that's what I'm like, what the hell did I do wrong? Like, you're acting like she was acting like I was talking or gossiping about her, or being fake to her face. When this is everything that she wanted, so, like, I'm kind of confused. I don't know what's going on. But, things get taken out of context very easily. And it ruined my morning, as I've said just now. And I was really confused about how all this went. And it wasn't even like she said she didn't want to work with her. She said she was burnt out. Like, it wasn't even like Mary said she didn't want to work with her. Because if you remember earlier, she had said that if she ever is interested in working with her, you know, she will email her directly. So she didn't decline her forever. She just said, you know, she's burnt out and she'll work with her. Or, as far as, I guess, contact, we'll work with her in 2024. But it was all a misunderstanding. But yeah, the point of this video was just to express my frustration and disappointment and disappointment. And I've kept the names of everyone involved confidential to protect their privacy and avoid drama, which ironically is the way HR works. So that's actually good on me for respecting that very well, like I did. I'm kind of glad I'm handling it like I'm doing because to be honest, if I was the old me, I probably would have made it worse by constantly messaging her. When she didn't want to talk to anyone, to talk anymore, I stopped. It hurt like hell, but to protect myself and her, I did what she wanted. Life is not always in your control, and there will be moments where you can't control what's happening. The best thing you can do is move forward and continue to improve your approach. I'm not a bad person, and I have no bad intentions. This does not define me. My overall character does. Thank you for listening to me. And I could not have said any better than all that I've typed in. Because I just thought it was just over the top. I mean, I get it. You're probably frustrated, but this, mind you, this was your idea, and um, you can't. And mind you, I've told you about the videos, but you came to me and said, I think it would be better if you screenshot this and email her. It's like you just this is just when you're in HR, this is what you don't do. This is what you can't do. You can't go off your emotions because you're upset that someone didn't do something the way exactly that you wanted, that you thought that they wanted, or you thought that. How can I put it? You can't get upset at somebody because they did something that you wanted, but because it wasn't how you thought they were going to respond exactly how you wanted, you respond to me in this way. It's unacceptable. And again, I'm very shocked. I'm like, for an HR professional, this is actually very non-HR like. Very, very non-HR like. Um, and I'm very disappointed with her. And I didn't know she was like this. If I'd known she was like this before I messaged her, I would not have messaged her. But again, when you're on YouTube or when you see people, you don't really know them until you go through stuff like this. And I've kind of learned, like, people in life are unpredictable. You never really know, like, what their tics are or what, pisses them off. Because again, I wouldn't know that maybe she probably wasn't fond of AI. But how do I know this? You never talked to me about it. You've never really had a conversation with me about it. You haven't really like done any of that. And also, this whole script I'm going to put in the description box so that you can read it and that there's no confusion off of what happened or what I'm talking about. So that way, if the video is too confusing for you, you can go back and then read everything I've had to say in it. Hopefully, you'll collect it all. I'm gonna try to get in as much as I can, but if not, I'm gonna try to see if like I can get the document, like the document I have on Google Docs, and just have the link in the description, and then we can go from there. But thank you all for listening to me. This was a pain in the ass, honestly. I hate the internet. I hate the internet. The internet's an awful place. It can be very beautiful and you can have beautiful moments, but it's also very awful. We just live in a society where like people just want to, and I've been talking to Onyx about this the other day too. We live in a society where everything is like a commodity. It's like people want you to be perfect. It's like the second you make even the smallest mistake, it's like they're done with you. They don't want to talk to you, nothing. It's like nobody wants to have a conversation anymore. We all just want to the second we go through something or we don't like something somebody did, rather than working through it like adults, we just cut people off. We don't talk to them anymore. And that's what frustrates me. And again, this is coming from an HR professional. Because HR professionals know this is not what you do. When you have a misunderstanding, this is not what you do. I'm telling you. This is really not what you do. But I'm going to put everything that I have in here in the description box or again as a link in the Google Docs if it doesn't completely show up, if it's like too many words. And we're going to go from there. Because I want you guys to really see what this all is right here that I've just talked about. So, you have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.